Imagine a scenario where dawn never arrives, because the sky has been eclipsed by the shadows of the most sophisticated engines of destruction in human history. We often speak of peace, but hidden behind the veil of diplomacy are war machines wielding the power of gods, where a single button press can decide the fate of billions in the blink of an eye. From the deepest reaches of the ocean to the edge of outer space, the United States arsenal is not merely a tool for defense, but entities possessing the power to wipe out entire civilizations. In today's video, we will infiltrate top-secret projects and decode the terrifying power of 9 American superweapons, things capable of turning the world into ashes in just a few short seconds. Welcome back to Military Tales. Fasten your seatbelts, because our journey to explore the ultimate limits of destruction begins right now. Deep within the ocean, where sunlight never reaches, exist colossal entities possessing the power to determine the fate of an entire nation. These are the Ohio-class nuclear submarines, the pride and terror, the absolute deterrent of the United States Navy. Often described as impregnable fortresses at the bottom of the sea, each Ohio-class submarine is not merely a military vessel, but a marvel of engineering, embodying the pinnacle of human technological achievement. With a length equivalent to 2 football fields and the ability to dive hundreds of meters deep, Ohio-class submarines operate silently like ghosts. Thanks to their advanced nuclear reactor systems, they can operate continuously for decades without refueling, allowing them to maintain a presence in any ocean for extended periods. What sets this class of submarine apart is its enormous arsenal of weapons. Each ship is capable of carrying up to 24 Trident II ballistic missiles, each carrying multiple nuclear warheads that can independently strike different targets with astonishing accuracy. The destructive power of just one Ohio-class ship is enough to reduce hundreds of cities to ashes, creating an invisible but extremely effective psychological pressure on any adversary. Beyond its role as a nuclear deterrent, some variants of the Ohio class have been upgraded to become highly versatile launchers for Tomahawk cruise missiles. With the capacity to carry 154 missiles, they can conduct precision strikes deep inland, making it difficult for the enemy to detect them in time. Inside its thick steel hull is a sophisticated sonar system capable of detecting even the slightest sounds from tens of nautical miles away, giving the ship a constant advantage in any confrontation. The lives of the sailors on board are a silent sacrifice, where they work in confined spaces for months on end to protect world peace from the shadows. Each voyage of an Ohio-class submarine is an affirmation of unshakable power, a stern warning that any provocation will be met with an unstoppable and devastating response. When an Ohio-class submarine dives, the world seems to hold its breath, knowing that beneath the deep blue waters, a god of destruction is on standby, ready to deliver its final command at any moment. This is the clearest evidence of modern military power, where technology and human will intertwine to create a dominant force in the ocean. In the silent darkness of the vast sky, where icy winds envelop everything, a pitch-black phantom glides along, leaving no trace on enemy radar screens. This is the B-2 Spirit, the proud symbol of stealth technology and the ultimate strategic asset of the United States Air Force. Unlike any aircraft ever built, the B-2 possesses a unique design resembling a giant bat, with a flat wing structure and no vertical tail, allowing it to completely dissolve into nothingness. The introduction of the B-2 Spirit was a revolution in modern warfare. It doesn't need large escort formations of fighter jets, nor does it need to display its power with deafening roars. Its strength lies in its silence, and its ability to penetrate even the world's densest air defense systems without detection. With its hull covered in special radar-absorbing materials and sophisticated aerodynamic design, the B-2 renders even the most expensive early warning systems useless toys. Inside that slender hull lies a massive arsenal, capable of carrying both conventional bombs and strategic nuclear warheads. Its ability to fly continuously for tens of thousands of miles with in-flight refueling allows the B-2 Spirit to launch from the American continent, reach any global hotspot, and return safely. It is not just a bomber, but a messenger of deterrence, a stark reminder that nowhere on Earth is safe from the wrath of the sky. Every time a B-2 takes flight, it is a marvel of the combined power of artificial intelligence, physics, and the skill of the most elite pilots. In its modern cockpit, electronic systems continuously process billions of data points to ensure the aircraft always follows its stealth trajectory. The existence of the B-2 Spirit has redefined the concept of time and space in warfare. The enemy will not know they are under attack until massive columns of fire erupt from the ground. Decades old, the B-2 maintains its unique position as an immortal phantom of the digital age. It is a testament to humanity's aspiration to conquer the skies and master the darkness. Once the shadow of the B-2 Spirit appears above the clouds, the fate of the target is sealed. This is not just a war machine, but a work of art of destruction. A true phantom lurking in the night to protect national interests and maintain world order from an unreachable height. In the deep blue sky, where the boundary between atmosphere and outer space becomes thin, a mechanical entity is preparing to break every speed limit known to mankind. This is the SR-72, the direct descendant of the legendary SR-71 Blackbird, a speed monster dubbed the Child of the Wind God. If its predecessor had once dominated the world during the Cold War with its ability to outmaneuver interceptor missiles, the SR-72 was born to redefine the concept of absolute air dominance in the new era. The SR-72 is not merely a reconnaissance aircraft. It is a hypersonic attack and intelligence-gathering complex, a speed phantom capable of traveling at Mach 6, 6 times the speed of sound. Imagine a machine that can depart from the United States, cross oceans, and appear in the skies of any nation in less than an hour. At that incredible speed, the SR-72 rendered even the most modern air defense systems helpless bystanders. By the time enemy radar identified the target, this iron bird was hundreds of miles away, leaving behind only ear-splitting supersonic roars. The heart of the SR-72 was an incredibly complex combined cycle engine system, allowing it to take off like a conventional jet but also activate hypersonic mode upon reaching a certain altitude. Its design was a perfect combination of cutting-edge aerodynamics and special heat-resistant materials, enabling the aircraft to withstand the tremendous friction generated by hurtling through the air at the speed of a bullet. The SR-72 didn't need the sophisticated stealth coatings of the B-2 Spirit. Its terrifying speed itself was its strongest protective armor. No missile could catch up. No interceptor could approach. The presence of the SR-72 on the world military map is an affirmation of the supreme power of American technology. It is a tool that allows strategists to observe every enemy movement in real time and launch precise attacks from unreachable heights. As the SR-72 streaks across the sky, it leaves no trace but a faint white blur behind the clouds. Yet the power it carries is enough to completely alter the course of any conflict. It is a symbol of the future, where time and space are no longer barriers to military power. A true war machine emerging from the pages of science fiction to dominate the skies for decades to come. On the fragile boundary between sky and ground, there exists a tireless technological phantom, a pair of blazing eyes, constantly monitoring every movement from tens of thousands of meters above the ground. This is the MQ-9 Reaper, the unmanned soul hunter that has completely redefined the concept of remote warfare in the 21st century. Without a pilot in a cramped cockpit, the MQ-9 Reaper operates via intercontinental satellite communications, allowing control centers halfway around the world to observe and intervene in the battlefield with centimeter-level precision. Unlike noisy and ostentatious fighter jets, the Reaper embodies patience and cold-bloodedness, capable of hovering continuously in the air for over 24 hours. It resembles a hawk stalking its prey, waiting for the slightest lapse in concentration from the enemy to deliver the decisive blow. Its state-of-the-art optical and infrared sensor system is capable of penetrating darkness, fog, and dust, rendering any enemy attempts at concealment meaningless. Every movement, every action on the ground is zoomed in and analyzed in real time, creating a comprehensive and extremely sharp intelligence picture. The true power of the MQ-9 Reaper lies in its perfect combination of reconnaissance and direct attack roles. Beneath its long wingspan is a fearsome arsenal of laser-guided missiles and smart bombs. When the attack order is given, death comes out of nowhere without any warning. For ground targets, the appearance of the Reaper is a predetermined sentence, a brutal punishment where the victim doesn't even have time to realize who their attacker is. However, the value of the MQ-9 lies not only in its explosives, it's a life-saving tool for the military. as the most dangerous missions are now entrusted to composite and alloy entities. Its presence in global hotspots creates tremendous psychological pressure, forcing adversaries to live in constant fear of an invisible enemy lurking behind the clouds. The MQ-9 Reaper is not simply an aircraft, it's a symbol of the era of automated warfare, where artificial intelligence and military technology blend to create absolute dominance of the skies. As the gentle hum of its rotors echoes through the air, the history of war is being written again with lines of code and deadly laser beams. Imagine an invisible yet rock-solid shield enveloping the entire sky to block the rain of fire from space. That is THAAD, the Terminal High Altitude Area Defense Missile Defense System, the pride of U.S. interceptor technology. In the world of weapons of mass destruction, THAAD doesn't play the role of a hunter, but a loyal guardian, an impenetrable steel wall, ready to break any poisonous arrow the moment it reaches the threshold of the atmosphere. THAAD's power lies in the perfect combination of its sophisticated radar eyes and smart, non-explosive projectiles. At the heart of this system is the world's most powerful active electronically scanned array radar network, capable of detecting and tracking any foreign object from thousands of kilometers away. As soon as an enemy ballistic missile leaves its launch pad, THAAD immediately calculates its trajectory, determines its impact point, and prepares for a dramatic confrontation at superspherical altitude. What sets THAAD apart is its philosophy of purely kinetic attack. Its interceptor missiles don't carry traditional explosives. Instead, they destroy targets by directly impacting them at incredible speeds. A direct collision between two entities traveling at many times the speed of sound generates a massive amount of energy, enough to reduce the enemy missile to harmless fragments in mid-air. Besides its precise interception capabilities, THAAD is also a master of flexibility. The entire system, from the launch pad and control center to the radar, is mounted on specialized transport vehicles, allowing for rapid deployment to any hotspot globally in a short amount of time. The presence of THAAD in a region is not just a military solution, but also a powerful political statement, an absolute guarantee of the safety of allies against threats from short and medium-range missiles. Every time the THAAD system enters combat readiness, the world gains an additional layer of robust protection. It is a testament to cutting-edge artificial intelligence and mechanical engineering, where humans use technology to control potential disasters. THAAD doesn't just prevent explosions, it prevents fear and maintains global stability. When the lightning from interceptor missiles streaks across the night sky, that's when this guardian is fulfilling its noble mission, turning deadly threats into dust before they can inflict suffering on the earth. This is the pinnacle of modern defense art, a steel shield protecting peace from unimaginable heights, parting the silvery waves of the vast ocean. A bizarre and angular silhouette approaches with the majestic bearing of a king from the future. This is the Zumwalt-class super destroyer, a revolutionary marvel of steel, designed to completely change the face of modern naval warfare, lacking traditional curves or cumbersome superstructures. The Zumwalt appears as a deep black polyhedron, a design that penetrates the turbulent waves to maintain a silent yet powerful presence. It is not just a warship, but a colossal digital technology hub floating on the sea. The Zumwalt's greatest breakthrough lies in its superior stealth capabilities, a marvel of physics and engineering. Despite its much larger size than conventional destroyers, on enemy radar screens, this giant appears only as a small fishing boat. The entire weapons system, radar, and communication equipment are concealed within angular surfaces, minimizing the area of electromagnetic wave reflection. This allows the Zumwalt to penetrate deep into disputed waters, approaching enemy coastlines without attracting attention, ready to launch surprise and devastating attacks. The heart of the ship is a fully integrated power supply system, generating enough energy to power an entire small city. This power not only operates the engines but also forms the basis for deploying future weapons such as electromagnetic railguns or laser weapons. With vertical missile launchers running along the hull, the Zumwalt can simultaneously fire salvos of Tomahawk cruise missiles, leveling strategic targets thousands of miles away with absolute precision. Each shot from this ship carries the power of meticulous mathematical calculation and cutting-edge industrial power. Stepping inside, you'll find a space straight out of a science fiction movie. All ship operations are controlled via an incredibly intelligent central computer system. allowing for a minimal crew size while maintaining maximum combat efficiency. The introduction of the Zumwalt class not only affirmed the United States' dominance of the oceans, but also represented a leap forward in military thinking. It was proof that humans can turn even the wildest ideas into reality. As the Zumwalt's silhouette glides through the nautical fog, it carries a message of unstoppable power, a dominant entity on the water's surface, always ready to defend global order with deadly silence and cutting-edge technology. This is the symbol of naval power in the digital age, a true phantom warrior in the vast ocean. When the ground shook with a terrifying tremor and the sky was torn apart by a massive fireball, that was when the mother of all bombs, the GBU-43B MOAB, carried out its devastating mission. It wasn't a nuclear weapon, but its destructive power was enough to send shivers down anyone's spine. Designed as a nearly 10-ton mechanical monster, the MOAB was the most powerful non-nuclear weapon ever deployed in combat, a symbol of pure destructive power from the U.S. Air Force. The MOAB's power lay not in its subtlety or stealth, but in its sheer display of force. Released from the cargo bays of massive transport aircraft, this monster didn't fall aimlessly. Thanks to its GPS satellite guidance system and agile control fins, it glided through the air with cold precision, aiming directly at the center of its target. The most terrifying thing happened just before it hit the ground. The MOAB didn't explode on impact, but detonated at a certain altitude above the ground. This process created a massive shockwave, spreading at supersonic speed, crushing all solid structures and depleting oxygen over a wide area. The MOAB's primary targets were intricate cave systems, deep underground bunkers, or areas with high concentrations of enemy troops. The extreme pressure generated by the explosion could penetrate even the thickest layers of rock and earth, turning fortified structures into mass graves in an instant. Its roar could be heard from tens of miles away, and its distinctive mushroom clouds served as a stark warning to any force intending to challenge it. However, the value of the GBU-43 lay not only in the amount of material destroyed, it was also an extremely potent psychological warfare weapon. The appearance of the MOAB on the battlefield created an irreparable psychological shock, paralyzing the enemy's will to fight against a power they had no way to resist or hide from. This demonstrated that the U.S. military could create effects equivalent to nuclear weapons, without suffering the long-lasting radioactive consequences. Each time the MOAB was deployed, the world was once again astonished by the limits of conventional weapon technology. It was a combination of massive explosives and the precision of the digital age. In the darkness of war, the mother of all bombs stood there like a goddess of destruction, ready to flatten any obstacle and change the course of the battlefield with a single blast. Once the order to fire was given, the fate of the target area was sealed by the most terrifying fury humanity had ever created from steel and explosives. Whether in the bright sunshine or the dark night, an uncrowned king reigns with absolute power, a mechanical entity born to dominate all combat spaces. That is the F-22 Raptor, humanity's first fifth-generation fighter jet and the eternal symbol of the U.S. Air Force's dominance of the skies. More than just an aircraft, the F-22 is the embodiment of the most fantastical dreams, where speed, agility, and stealth combine to create a cold-blooded killer with no worthy rivals. The F-22 Raptor's power begins with its groundbreaking stealth capabilities. With its sophisticated design and special electromagnetic absorbing paint, it can penetrate even the densest radar networks without leaving a trace. While the enemy is still searching for a ghost on their warning screens, the F-22 has already closed in and locked onto its target from an impossibly long distance. This see first, shoot first, and destroy first philosophy has made this fighter jet an absolute terror for any pilot on the other side of the battlefield. But stealth is only half the story. In close-range engagements, the F-22 truly displays the instincts of a beast. Thanks to its unique thrust vectoring system, it can perform sharp turns and aerobatics that defy all laws of physics, unmatched by any other aircraft. It doesn't fly along conventional trajectories. It dances through the air, turning pursuers into clumsy prey. With its supersonic flight capabilities, the F-22 can maintain supersonic speeds for extended periods without using afterburners, allowing it to approach targets like lightning and retreat before the enemy can react. Inside the cockpit is a superior artificial neural network. The central computers continuously collect, process, and integrate data from every sensor, providing the pilot with a panoramic view of the battlefield, like a god observing from above. Every weapon, from long-range air-to-air missiles to smart bombs, is concealed within the fuselage to maintain stealth capabilities, only to emerge for a split second to deliver the finishing blow. The F-22 Raptor is not just a weapon. It is an unshakable statement of technological prowess. Despite its age, it remains at the pinnacle of the global military pyramid. The presence of a squadron of F-22s in any area is enough to establish an absolute no-fly zone, where any intrusion is met with immediate destruction. It embodies pride. A phantom of the skies always ready to deliver justice from heights that humans can only look up to with awe and fear. Within the power structure of a superpower, there exists a defense system likened to a sturdy three-legged stool, the ultimate guarantee of a nation's survival against any catastrophe. This is the Nuclear Triad, a perfect combination of land, air, and sea to create a comprehensive deterrence network. These are not merely weapons, but a supreme military doctrine, where each component acts as a protective shield, preventing any attack attempts from the adversary with the promise of inevitable and devastating retaliation. The first leg lies deep underground, in the launch silos for intercontinental ballistic missiles scattered across vast plains. These arrows of death are always on standby 24 hours a day, ready to launch within minutes of a command. With their terrifying speed and ability to reach any point on the globe, they are the fastest reacting force, creating constant psychological pressure on any enemy. This is the power of public display, a tangible warning that any provocation will lead to an immediate and tragic end. The second pillar takes off from strategic runways, where long-range bombers like the B-2 or B-52 are always ready to take flight. Unlike stationary missiles, air power offers maximum flexibility. They can be deployed as a political message, can change targets mid-flight, or even return if the situation is diffused. These specters in the sky are the wings of deterrents, allowing leaders more time to make crucial decisions in critical moments of history. Finally, and perhaps most mysteriously, are the nuclear submarines carrying ballistic missiles, lurking in the depths of the ocean. This is the ultimate reserve force, an unassailable second strike capability. Even if land-based bases are attacked, these ocean killers will remain hidden, ready to surface and execute the final command. Their silence is the greatest terror, for no one can be certain of their location or when their wrath from the depths will descend upon the enemy. The combination of this trio creates a perfect defensive loop, where the weakness of one component is compensated by the strength of the others. The Nuclear Triad doesn't exist to instigate war, but to ensure that war never happens. It's a paradox of peace, where humanity must wield world-destroying power to keep the world safe. When all three pillars operate in harmony, that's when world order is maintained by a fragile yet absolute balance. A steel shield woven from technology, will, and the eternal desire for survival of a nation. Our exploration of the 9 most powerful entities in the U.S. arsenal concludes here. What we have just witnessed is not only the pinnacle of human ingenuity, but also a stark reminder of the fragile line between peace and absolute destruction. From invisible specters in the stratosphere to silent killers at the bottom of the ocean, all combine to create a terrifying deterrent network, capable of determining the fate of the planet in a matter of seconds. Will this power be a shield protecting humanity, or a spark for an irreversible catastrophe? The answer lies in how the world operates these keys to hell. Thank you for following Military Tales. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss the next confidential files. And now, goodbye, and see you again.